Arcadian Vanguard presents The Wrestling News, and your daily wrestling newscast for Monday, December 16th, 2024. Good morning, I'm Mike Sempervive. We begin today with New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong Style Evolved event held last night at the Walter Pyramid in Long Beach, California. In the main event, Mercedes Moné retained the Strong Women's Championship against Hazuki. After the match, Moné laid out a general challenge which was accepted by Mina Shirakawa. Jack Perry and Konosuke Takeshita defeated Shingo Takagi and Yota Tsuji of Los Ingobernables de Japón. After the match, Hiromu Takahashi made the save for Takagi and Tsuji, only for the Young Bucks to make a surprise appearance to close the show. The West Coast Wrecking Crew defeated the Grizzled Young Veterans to become the new Strong Openweight Tag Team Champions. In another title match, Gabe Kidd retained the Strong Openweight title against Ryohei Oiwa. In a tag team match, Jacob Austin Young and Templario of United Empire defeated Hiromu Takahashi and Titan of Los Ingobernables de Japón. In other results, Bad Dude Tito, Shane Haste, and Zack Sabre Jr. beat Fred Rosser, Tom Lawler, and Shota Umino. Heshicero beat Leo Rush. TJP won a four-way match with Clark Connors, Kosei Fujita, and Kishida. And Mina Shirakawa topped Johnny Robbie. In TNA news, Hammerstone will be out of action indefinitely as he's set to undergo surgery for a knee injury.
Unfortunately, I suffered a knee injury. That's why I've been out for a couple weeks, and I'm going to be out for some more because for the first time in my wrestling career, I have to go get surgery, which really sucks, but, I think I've been blessed to be able to do it this long and avoid it. Hopefully, optimistically, it's looking like it's going to be a pretty minor procedure, and I should be back to the ring in not much longer than a couple weeks. Let's hope that stays true.
On Friday, TNA announced Hammerstone had suffered an injury and was pulled from the scheduled six-man tag team match later in the night at Final Resolution. And in some unfortunate news, Cesar Baltazar de Lucio Valencia, better known to Lucha Libre fans as Karloff Lagarde Jr., passed away on Friday at the age of 54, as was first reported by Roy Lucier. The nephew of the original Karloff Lagarde, one of Mexico's most celebrated luchadors, Karloff Lagarde Jr. competed in Mexico from the early 1990s through the early 2000s, starting off in the UWA, but later spending time in both AAA and CMLL. He was known as a welterweight wrestler, first winning the UWA World Welterweight title in the early 1990s, followed by the CMLL World Welterweight title in the late 90s and early 2000s. He also held the Mexican National Welterweight title, the same title dominated by his uncle in the 1960s and 70s and also held by El Santo. Once again, Karloff Lagarde Jr. has passed away at the age of 54. And before we leave you today, we'd like to remind you that however you consume your content, you can find the wrestling news 24 hours a day and 7 days a week across social media. On Twitter, follow us at Wrestling News AV. Our Facebook page is also Wrestling News AV. The Wrestling News can also be found on the Arcadian Vanguard YouTube page. And for those who utilize Amazon Echo devices, just tell Alexa to play the Wrestling News podcast. And remember to make sure you add podcast at the end. Once again, for daily updates, breaking news, and more, follow the Wrestling News across social media. And that's the news for today. If anything happens, we will be here to tell you about it. No clickbait, no paywall, just the Wrestling News. The Wrestling News is a division of Arcadian Vanguard, and the Wrestling Newscast is a production of the Arcadian Vanguard Podcast Network.